and they've won 2-1 here. That gap at the top is now just 2 points, Steve. What a result for City.
Yeah, it was a great result, and you could see by the reaction of a lot of the Manchester City players and the Manchester City managerial bench, the waving of the arms, the cheering, the hugging. You knew what a big night it was. I thought Newcastle were excellent. I thought they went down on the swords. They really tried. They just couldn't manage that final moment, the final decision, the final pass to really trouble Manchester City. But it was a wonderful contest.
And now the gap at the top of the table is the smallest it's been since the 29th of December. It was all about managing the game in the second half for City, because Newcastle did have that possession. They had opportunities.
Yeah, they had more possession, Newcastle, and I think it's probably their best performance at the Etihad for a number of years. Yet they still come away with nothing. You could just feel Man City getting edgy. All the talk has started already with both teams going for the league, Arsenal and Man City. Arsenal dropping points and the pressure being on City to take advantage of that and make sure they win. You could feel that the longer it went on in the second half, and Newcastle just didn't have that bit of quality you needed in the final third in that second half to cause them any problems. And yeah, it was a tough night for Man City.
Done today. You're having such a good breakthrough season. Showed your versatility again tonight. Your first Premier League brace. You can't beat scoring goals, can you?
Yeah, no, I'm over the moon tonight. I mean, the win was the most important thing. Try and close the gap and apply as much pressure as possible. And yeah, also very happy with the 2 goals.
On closing the gap, on that pressure, I'm sure as a young player here, you were looking at this team win titles. You're now a very big part of your own title race. How are you finding that experience?
Yeah, it's a dream of mine to win something like this. I mean, there's still a lot of games to go, and we just need to take each game as it comes. And yeah, I'm enjoying every moment and taking it all in.
You'd have seen this.
To Liam McDevitt there was Nico O'Reilly. What an occasion for him. 2 goals in a very big game and a player of the match performance. What a time. He was really, really talking about how much he's enjoying his football right now.
Yes, he's in excellent form. He plays every game. Pep relies on him. And he's played in a number of positions. I think that's why we appreciate what a really good player he is. He had a wonderful evening tonight. Quiet second half, but he's the match winner, and that's all that counts. It was back to the walls a little bit in the second half, a bit more of a battle. But City got there in the end.
Yeah, looking at that table, they are hot on Arsenal's heels, breathing down their necks with the small matter of the North London derby to come tomorrow. Manchester City are in prime position to strike.
Yeah, and you know that the Arsenal players have been watching today, as were the City players would have been, and managerial team would have been watching Arsenal in midweek. And now it's back over to Arsenal. Man City have said, we've done our job. See what you can do tomorrow in the North London derby. And that's the way it's going to be in between now and the end of the season. It is between those two. But both teams are not going to win every single game. There are going to be points dropped, and there will be still twists and turns.
And they still meet each other at the Etihad Stadium in April. Looking forward to that one already. Tonight, though, job done for Manchester City. They knew it was a big opportunity, and they came out as if they meant real business. O'Reilly with the early opener out. Yeah,
they win the first header. They win the second header there, Haaland. They win the third challenge as well. Yeah, you look at Newcastle defensively, but the way Man City broke on them and the way he hits that Nico O'Reilly, from a City point of view, it's a very, very good goal and well worked. But from a Newcastle point of view, you would think Chow can get a little bit closer to him. And I also think that Nick Pope perhaps would look at that and think he could do better. I'm not sure his positioning's that great. He doesn't move his feet quick enough either. And when you get that much of a hand to it, I think as a goalkeeper, you'd think you'd probably do more to stop that. Having said that, it's a great strike and a very good goal from Man City.
What did you make of it?
I agree with Alan. There's small nuances, small mistakes on the. If Thiaw followed Nico O'Reilly first, Marmoush wasn't a danger. He was picked up. He played a nice ball to Nico O'Reilly. If Malik Thiaw was a little tiny bit closer, they could have stopped it at source. But you know, you're talking moments in games, and that's what happens at the highest quality. If you switch off slightly, if Nick Pope's feet are planted and he's moving left instead of right, it's in the back of the net, and Manchester City got off to the perfect start.
Yeah, the lead didn't last too long, though, because Newcastle found themselves level. Lewis Hall on what was a 100th club appearance for him.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he positions himself really well. That's not a fluke. That's where he has to be, just in case. the ball actually comes out to where it does, and he's there perfectly. Yes, it's fortunate that it takes a deflection from Nori, but he's there. He gets his strike away. So from everything, that's well worked. Having said that, as I said, it's the deflection that takes it past Donnarumma, and they get themselves back in the game. And that would be the disappointing thing, is that when they do get themselves back in the game, and then they defend really poorly for the second goal, I think.
Yeah, I was the same. Newcastle were excellent. Even in the first half, they were really dangerous. So once they got back into the game, they just needed to stay in the game a little bit longer, be a bit more secure and counter-attack, because that's where they were really dangerous against Manchester City. But the second goal was incredibly frustrating again if you're a Newcastle analyst who watches the game, because it's easy to analyse and see where the mistakes were happening.
Well, why don't you do that for us and tell us what was frustrating about it?
Well, easily enough. Look at the shape of Newcastle, perfect. But Semenyo flips past Voltemade, who's not a midfielder. And then the gap between Malik Thiaw and Kieran Trippier is too vast. Trippier should be in 3 or 4 yards in towards Malik Thiaw. The danger is in front of him, not behind. And then he gets caught on his heels. You see Trippier's movements now, the very small steps. And Nico Riley's in the gap. It's floated in the air. And as Alan had assessed, that is a wonderful ball for someone who's going to go and attack and be aggressive. And a lovely header back across Nick Pope.
It's a brilliant ball in from Haaland. It's so inviting for Nico O'Reilly to go and run and attack it, and he times it to perfection and then guides it back across where it's come from. Brilliant from his point of view. But from Newcastle, it's just far too easy to go past Nick Voltemade to begin with. And then far too easy with that ball in from Kieran Trippier. He's miles away from Nico O'Reilly. He should be a lot closer, as Maka has said. And if he is, then O'Reilly doesn't get that header.
Yeah, look at Bernardo Silva just giving Haaland props there. So often on the end of balls like that, turned
But
provider.
when you looked at when Haaland goes to cross it in, you see the camera behind him. All you can see is Newcastle defenders. So it's just them getting caught. It's just that being flat-footed. One person moving, which is Nico O'Reilly, and Kieran Trippier just a little tiny bit lost. And again, small margins, and they're just punished for it.
Yeah, the first half was, some might say, absorbing. Captivating. We'd expected plenty more goals, because the first half was an all-action affair.
Yeah, I thought there would have been more goals in the second half. I thought it would be very similar to the first half, where it was really open. City created chances. Newcastle definitely created chances with the way they played, with the way Gordon was up front and Elanga was using his pace on that right-hand side. And that's the way I thought it would have happened again in the second half, but it wasn't to be. City defended well. They didn't give Newcastle the space to run into like they did in that second half, which then meant they weren't that much of a threat themselves, Manchester City. But as we've said, it wasn't about a performance for them tonight. It was about getting 3 points by hook or by crook and then putting the pressure right back onto Arsenal.
Completing their great record against Newcastle. That continued tonight. 17 wins in a row at the Etihad against the Magpies. Let's hear post-match reaction from their manager. Here's Eddie Howe.
Eddie, I know you're never happy after a defeat, but you can still be proud of your players, can't you?
Yeah, considering everything that we've put into the last few weeks, that was a big effort, physically, mentally. That was a good performance. Wasn't good enough. And Manchester City make it very difficult for you, but I thought we went toe-to-toe with them. I thought we were going strong at the end, and can't fault the players.
And was that the plan from the start?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think we had our way of setting up today, and we wanted to play our normal way. We wanted to try and really test ourselves and show our strengths, and I thought we did. I thought we were equals in the game. We were well in it. We attacked well without probably having the cutting edge that we needed to create the level of chances that maybe our territory warranted. Didn't defend the 2 goals well enough at all. That's a big disappointment from the game, really.
It's been 2 weeks where we seem to have seen the belief in your squad really come to the fore.
Yeah, I think whenever you come here, you're really tested in that way. You have to be really strong mentally. You have to believe you're good enough to win. I felt that belief was there right to the end. I mean, Harvey's had the shot and Donnarumma's made an incredible save. And when you consider the physical exertions that we've had in the last few weeks, that's a big testament to the group.
And you said this week that, OK, results over the years have never gone well here, but every time you play City, you learn something from it. What do you think you'll take from today?
Well, the 2 goals that we conceded were disappointing because we felt we've made individual errors that's cost us those goals, and I think you never quite know how the game would pan out, but I think, and it's important we start better here. I think that we conceded early several occasions. It's made our task even harder than it needed to be.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Guy.
Eddie Howe's post-match reaction, pretty similar to what
he was
you
listening
said.
to us, I think, Jules.
Must have been.
Yeah, it was a tough game for them tonight, Jolie, and they had to suffer in that second half to get this one over the line.
Yeah, definitely. Showed a lot of character in the second half performance. Probably could have gone ahead by a bigger margin in the first half, but it wasn't to be. And like we spoke about before, like it's always exciting when Newcastle are involved. They make it exciting. And again, fully deserved to get back into the game, but the course of the second half, when the game's getting stretched, you're thinking City are going to capitalise on the space. That wasn't to be, and you end up with a nervy 5-10 minutes at the end.
And if you're an Arsenal player right now with a big North London derby tomorrow, what's going through your mind, do you think, Joe?
I've been in that situation where you got a big game the next day, and you know you need to win anyway, but you're all watching it and you're in the hotel, and it's a bit deflating because they would have been thinking Newcastle with the last 10 minutes could have got something. So you got to get yourself to bed, get up tomorrow, and it's great. I love it. It's a proper title race because we thought for months ago, me included, thought this is going to be Arsenal's all the way, and it'll be finished in maybe April, and but this is right. And this is the first time I've looked at Manchester City now and looked at them and looked at the spine of the team: Donnarumma, Mark Guehi, Haaland, Rodri, Semenyo. No, but they look like men. Do you know what I mean? They look like they're right up for and this place was lively tonight. You can't see them dropping too many points. So Arsenal are going to have to be brilliant from now to the end of the season.
And Haaland not on the score sheet this evening. Both the goals from Nico O'Reilly. Just how well did he do, Jolyon? Because both the goals probably avoidable from a Newcastle point of view.
Yeah, from slightly avoidable, but you got to give credit to Nico O'Reilly, especially his willingness to run in behind, and I spoke about him before. He's so important to the team now because we have ball players and people that are comfortable, but this is a difference. His ability to run behind the forward line, and again, we could critique Newcastle's defending if we want, but take nothing away from the way to pass, the confidence to take the shot on. Again, could he pass to the world's best striker? But no, he sees the opportunity to strike and he converts.
Yeah, it's a wonderful finish. He just cuts across. I thought maybe he'd let the ball come across from his standing leg a little bit too much, but he just cut across it and took it away from Pope. And in this one, he's finding in that little pockets. This is somebody who could be left back for England, realistically, at the World Cup. He's playing in the number 10 position there. He's found it. It's a beautifully timed run, and he gets up early. The great ball from Haaland where he stands it up exactly where you want it, and he's coming in great momentum, and he's up early. And look at the strength.
But you, like many, Joe, won't recognise that is his natural position.
Yeah.
He's only ever played as a 10 in the academy, so these things and these scenarios aren't unfamiliar for him.
How much do you think he's enjoying this run that he's getting now in that preferred position, and how much are you enjoying watching him?
Yeah, both equally impressive. I think as a young player, you want to play and you will say, yes, I want to play in it and I'll play anywhere. But when you're given the opportunity to, in such an incredible team, a vital stage of the season, you're given an opportunity to play in your best position because the manager trusts you to influence the game the way he's done. That can only give him so much confidence, and like Joe said, he could go to the World Cup, and I believe if he goes to the World Cup, he'll only be considered as a left back, but to play a pivotal role in what this club are about to do this season could be immense.
Because he got his first couple of caps in November. What do you think his chances are? Do you think they're high because of that versatility he brings?
Versatility is crucial, especially at a tournament, and the left back position is wide open. Nobody's. We're talking off air, like nobody's grabbed it yet, so he could play there. And then if he does play, I agree. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near the 10 position or an 8 because we're really stacked there. But he'll certainly be on the plane. And if he keeps performing and a lot can change. There's 12, I think there's 11 games to go now for Man City, maybe. They're like 11 cup finals. And if you're performing and you're at it, and you're going to be in Thomas Tuchel's mind.
Is he becoming one of Pep's undroppables?
I think he is, yeah. Again, it's easy to recognise that because he scored 2 goals today. But I think in previous games, he's shown his athleticism. And when the team has lacked legs transitionally, whether it's forward or going back, he showed that he can recover. And he's obviously showed tonight that he can run in behind.
Do you know what? Sorry, Jolene. Do you know what I think he does as well? He wasn't spectacular tonight in terms of going past, but he's so efficient and very smart. He's obviously been well coached by everyone coming through at this club. He can play multiple positions. And that was very impressive of him tonight.
Not got a bad coach here, has he? Let's talk about Erling Haaland then, because not on the score sheet, Jolyon, but 42 touches, which is the most that he's ever had in a Premier League game. What was good about his performance tonight?
That fact that I think he did. I think he had the most touches. He looked like he enjoyed it, and he didn't have a real chance on goal. He had one at the end, but he didn't show any frustration towards that. He worked for the team, and Glenn spoke about him before the game, how versatile his game is and how complete his game is, and he showed that without showing the thing that he's recognised for the most, which is scoring goals. His ability to run in behind, create moments, and again, like this, similar to the first half, he showed great composure and soft feet, Joe.
Yeah, he is a lovely. The clips here are the complete package from a number 9 in terms of you see him there running the channel. This is defensively. That is an elite centre half in a crucial cricket distance. Bang. Again, look, he could be forgiven in that situation going, I'm running up the pitch now, you lads deal with it. No, he's chasing Anthony Gordon into the channel, so he's a team player.
Similar to Drogba, who you will know more than most, the ability to want to take up that responsibility, but then these are the bits that we shouldn't be surprised on, and yes, he definitely plays to his maximum, so I can understand why he's lying down at the end.
Is his mentality the best we've seen in the game, do you think, Jolyon? He seems to thrive in that battle.
Yeah, it's up there. It's definitely up there, and all the greats have it. I think it's too early and easy to say it's the best, because there are other greats that have a similar mentality, and that's probably the common denominator between great players, is their mentality, their willingness to do the right things every day, and he spoke about it before.
And we can see Mark Gay joining us now.
Hello,
Good to
mate.
see you, Mark. Thank you very much for coming out to join us in the rain. And well done on the win tonight. Mark, a massive win in the title race, isn't it? To get 2 points behind Arsenal in what was a really tough battle out there. Just talk us through what stood out for you in that overall City performance tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys would know, from their experience themselves. These games are always difficult, always tough games to play in. Newcastle are such a difficult team to play against, and their intensity and their endeavour and also their quality on the ball. So, I think it was a really good win today. I think I wouldn't say a statement win, but one that puts us in a really good position moving forward.
Mark, can I ask you quickly, because me and Jolyon both said it. It looks like you've been here for decades, not weeks, mate. And you've settled in so well. What sort of things has Pep done to you? Because usually with Pep, when he signs players, he beds them in because of the system. But you've hit the ground running. And what's Pep done and what the lads done to help you with that?
First and foremost, Jolyon will know what a top club this place is. And from the first minute I've come, everyone's been so welcoming, and the players, the staff. But yeah, the manager's been great. I think I've had to adapt completely, change my game completely, and I'm still learning a lot each and every day. And it's difficult because there's so many ideas. It's more thought process as opposed to physical. Thinking a lot, finding the right pass, when to pass the ball, driving at players, committing players. So there's so many different aspects of the game that I'm learning on the job, and don't have really much time to embed myself. But it's been great because I've had a lot of help, so it's been fantastic.
It must be a player's dream to work with someone like Pep Guardiola. What would you say is the one thing that surprised you about him? Anything that you weren't expecting when you came in?
Nothing really comes to mind, to be honest. I mean, how you see him on the television is how he is in real life. He's enthusiastic, he's passionate, he's intense, and he's a winner. He wants to win every single game, but he wants to win his way. He wants to play a certain way and impose himself on the opposition. So there's nothing really that I've been surprised by. I'm just glad I get the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, tonight we've seen obviously your attributes and your qualities as a centre-back. How important was Erling tonight defensively?
I mean, the manager gave him a little speech inside, to be honest, and how amazing he was today. His work ethic is amazing. Fighting for every single ball against Dan. It's not easy. Dan's so strong, so good in the air. He's a real focal point for us at the top of the field, and I'm glad he's done so well for us today.
Not a bad centre-back as well tonight. Do you think he's got a future there?
I think he should stay up front for sure. I don't want him to take my place or anything, but yeah, he's amazing.
I think you're safe, Mark.
Thank you.
Mark, we've got to let you go. We'll let you get in the dry, but thanks very much for coming out to join us. Thank you. Well done tonight. Cheers. Thank you. Well done. Mark Gay there. a big part. But as you said, Joel, he looks like he's been here for ages.
He is. Listen, he's one of football's nice guys, but when he plays, he's on it. That was really interesting and really brilliant.
Pep, it was a high-intensity game, which I knew you were expecting. It looked like it meant a lot there for you at the end. We saw Haaland defending deep to get your team over the line. A big result today.
Massive. It's an incredible team. Newcastle is an incredible, but awesome team. Physicality and the speed that they have in front with Gordon Elanga and after Barnes and all of them. So physicality in the middle. So, yeah, really tough, but the team was unbelievable.
You're now 8 unbeaten. You seem to have an ability to get your team winning when it matters most. What's that down to?
No, it's not true. We won today. We draw against the Spurs not far away, so step at a time.
You're as familiar as anyone about this part of the season, the talk that will come. It's now 2 points to Arsenal. They need to come here. Do you feel as equipped as ever with the group that you've got to face that battle and go into a good title race?
70% of the players never play in that situation, and I don't play. So we have to leave it, and we know that every game until the end of the season will be like this. And especially at home, with the 5 games left at home, today we had the best crowd of the year. It was unbelievable, our people, and I'm really, really proud to be manager of these incredible people, fans, and so on. And we'll be now is rest 3 days that we need it and prepare Leeds.